Welcome to our breakdown of the material today. We're setting the stage to uncover something that's incredibly pervasive, yet often it's just completely invisible. We're talking about the hidden psychological tactics used in relationships, the kind of tactics that can systematically destroy your confidence, your identity, and ultimately your peace. If you're here to figure out how to spot these patterns quickly and clearly, well, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. The source material hits us with this really heavy thought right out of the gate. Some relationships don't break your heart instantly, they slowly break your mind. And, the truly scary part about dark psychology in relationships is that most manipulation doesn't actually look toxic in the beginning. Paradoxically, it looks exactly like what we all want, right? It looks like love, it looks like attention, care, protection. You honestly don't realize what's happening until you are already so deeply invested. And then suddenly you wake up one day and realize you've been emotionally controlled the entire time. So that brings us to a really critical question. Why on earth is manipulation so hard to spot? Well, it's because the most dangerous manipulators rarely look dangerous at all. No villain mustache here. They can appear incredibly calm, highly attractive, deeply caring, and honestly, highly intelligent. They're absolute masters at hiding profound emotional control right behind a mask of affection. You aren't looking for a threat because, initially, they feel like the safest person in the entire room. Section 1. The illusion of love. To really understand how this works, we have to look at the life cycle of toxicity. It all begins right where the emotional trap is initially and very carefully set. Almost every toxic relationship starts the exact same way. It's too much attention, too much affection, and just too much perfection. Psychologists call this love bombing. Manipulators will absolutely overwhelm you with compliments, constant text messages, gifts, just a dizzying emotional intensity. But here's the catch. The goal here isn't a genuine connection. They're doing this to make you feel completely special, chosen, and entirely irreplaceable. By giving you this unnatural amount of attention up front, they establish a deep emotional attachment long before any of the real red flags start popping up. And this brilliantly illustrates a core difference you really need to watch out for. Healthy love, it grows slowly. It takes real time to build genuine trust. Manipulation, on the other hand, moves fast. The entire goal of love bombing is super simple. Make you emotionally dependent on them as quickly as humanly possible. Because once that emotional attachment is locked in, the real control begins.
Section 2. Warping your reality.
So once they have your trust, the dynamic shifts. The manipulator slowly begins to distort your perception of what is actually real. Imagine someone hurting you deeply, and then looking you dead in the eye and convincing you it simply never happened. That is gaslighting. It is without a doubt one of the most dangerous psychological manipulation tactics in existence. And the thing is, gaslighting doesn't destroy you immediately in one big explosive argument. Instead, it's more like a slow, methodical drip that gradually erases your confidence and your memory over months or even years.
You can actually often spot gaslighting if you pay close attention to the specific language they use. You'll hear phrases like, "You're overreacting," or flat out, "That never happened." Maybe it's, "You're too sensitive," or the classic, "You're crazy." Over time, if you hear these phrases enough, you actually stop trusting your own memory. You doubt your own emotions. You doubt your own reality. And here is the terrifying truth we're unpacking today. Once a manipulator controls your perception of reality, they completely control you. Moving on to Section 3, silence and guilt. This control eventually builds into even deeper emotional punishment. Sometimes manipulation is loud, right? Like the gaslighting we just talked about. But sometimes it's total silence. The silent treatment is pure emotional punishment. It involves ignoring your messages, completely avoiding conversations, just acting emotionally ice cold. And they aren't doing this to find peace or take a breather. They are doing it specifically to create anxiety in you. As humans, we biologically fear emotional disconnection, and manipulators know this all too well.
They use silence to force you to chase them for validation, and the harder you chase, the more power and control they feel. So the crucial point is how they handle active conflict when they aren't using silence. Manipulators are absolute experts at making you feel guilty for things that aren't even your fault. They'll throw out phrases like, "After everything I've done for you," or "You don't care about me," or my personal favorite, "I guess I'm always the bad person." Notice the pattern here? Instead of actually solving the issue at hand, they masterfully shift the emotional pressure right back onto you. Eventually, you just stop expressing your feelings altogether, because somehow every single conversation miraculously becomes your fault. Section 4, creating emotional addiction. This right here is where a victim's identity becomes completely fractured. One of the darkest tactics manipulators use to achieve this emotional addiction is isolation. Now, this isn't always physical isolation. Often it is purely emotional. Slowly, methodically, they make you distance yourself from your friends, your family, basically the people who genuinely care about you. Why do they do this? Because isolated people are simply much easier to control. When this manipulator makes themselves your only source of emotional support, you become entirely and dangerously dependent on them. And the way they achieve this isolation is by planting tiny seeds of doubt about your support network. They'll tell you stuff like, "Your friends are fake." They'll say, "Your family just doesn't understand us." Ultimately, it all leads to their core message: "You only need me." These exact phrases are the mechanisms they use to literally sever you from your reality checks and your safety nets. Once you are isolated, the emotional addiction is cemented through this really intense hot and cold behavior. One day, they love you intensely. The very next day, they act distant and cold. Look, predictable love brings peace and security, but unpredictable rewards, that creates a trauma bond. Psychologists actually compare this hot and cold pattern directly to a gambling addiction. Because the rewards, meaning their affection, are so unpredictable, your brain becomes completely obsessed with winning their attention back. You stop feeling peace entirely, and you just start chasing emotional survival. Section 5, how to protect yourself. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly how actionable these steps are. If you recognize any of these patterns, take a deep breath. Here is how you empower yourself and reclaim your confidence. First, trust patterns, not words. Manipulators are great talkers, right? So watch what they actually do consistently. Second, set strict boundaries and see exactly how they react when you say no. Third, never ignore those early red flags, even if the love bombing feels incredible in the moment. Fourth, and this is absolutely crucial, stay fiercely connected to your friends and family. And finally, number 5, listen to your instincts. If your gut is screaming that something is wrong, well, it usually is. Always keep this contrast clearly in your mind. Real love should bring peace, and it definitely shouldn't manipulate you into losing yourself. Toxic control brings constant nagging confusion. Remember this rule of thumb. The moment someone makes you question your worth repeatedly, you need distance. You do not need deeper attachment. I want to leave you with a stark, pretty sobering truth directly from our source material today. The most powerful manipulation tactic is making you believe you deserve the pain. That right there is the ultimate goal of the manipulator. And recognizing it, that's your first step to breaking free. So my final question to you is this: are you ready to recognize these patterns and protect your peace? By understanding these dark psychology tactics, you're now equipped to see the invisible, defend your own identity, and ensure that your relationships are built on genuine love, not hidden control. Keep learning, keep trusting those instincts of yours, and definitely keep your boundaries strong.